Hello, welcome to Follow Everton, and I am finally on a stream after being here 45 minutes waiting to get on. This was meant to go live at 11 o'clock. I do apologize for the delay in this going live. I'm Ryan, the channel host and admin. May I remind you of my existence tonight, because I do apologize. I've been trying to get on for a little while. Tonight, I want to hear from you. I want to get all the comments in. I did see there was several hundred comments on the last stream. Unfortunately, we didn't get through them. I'm now wanting to take as many comments as possible. I do want to run through as many topics. There are a lot of that. And if you type in that https semicolon / StreamYard.com and then a load of numbers, please go and do that so you can have a chat with me. You don't have to have your camera on. You can just go audio only, and you can do that whatever platform and device you're on. You just need audio. It'd be great to talk to you about Everton's comeback draw today. And first of all, I'm not going to go too in depth about the game because I believe you've had a huge inquest into every aspect of the match so far. So without further ado, we'll bring in our first guest, Peter. Hello, Peter. How are you doing?
Mate, that was mental. Yeah, oh God, mate, I tell you. I wasn't at the game, unfortunately, so I can't really say anything I'm not one of those that you want on who can talk about the crowd and everything engaging, because
That's
I was
okay.
unable to get there today because of other issues going on regarding home environment and things like that. But oh God, mate, it's this is this is a bit embarrassing, but I'm going to share it anyway. So watching that game, see, one of the problems I've had with me home today, unfortunately, is me loo was backed up. So I've had to have a plumber come out and fix it. He has fixed it, but I literally had to go through the whole day without using the loo. So that's been a big issue. And this has really impacted me today because
Come on, Peter. We haven't got all day. Tell me about the
not
match. Tell me about how
my
did you react at the end of the game when that goal went in?
Okay, well, I'll just get straight to the point. Do you want to
Yeah,
know what
we
happened,
haven't got a
mate?
lot of time tonight.
Actually,
It's half 11.
do you want to know
Go
what
on.
happened? I
Yeah.
shit myself. I literally shit myself because I hadn't been able to go to the loo all day, and
Joking.
I was on sugar. And as soon as Tarkovsky scored, I jumped up, look over the moon, and unfortunately, something came out the rear end, and it was just I had to have a
Are you
change.
sure it wasn't?
So,
Are you sure it wasn't Van Dijk?
no, it was, oh mate, it was one of them. But overall, in terms of the game, I'm disappointed at the goals we conceded. I mean,
Yeah.
first goal, the Corey gave the ball away stupidly. I mean, should have done better with the ball at his feet, but he's given the ball away in a really bad position, and we've been caught out completely ball watching and everything. It was just terrible. And the second goal, I don't know what the hell was going on with the left hand side. How they've left Salah unmarked. It's criminal,
Yeah, just to
really. But
remind our should we just enlighten anyone who wants to reminisce of what Peter's been talking about? The first goal, Decore has a really good chance actually to clear the ball. He gives the ball away quite unnecessarily, Peter, wasn't it? And then it's almost like he's
yeah,
trying to play a 1-2 with Beto. They don't clear the lines.
mm,
And then Mo Salah on his left foot, you can't allow him to get that ball in. So you've got a few opportunities to clear, a few opportunities to stop the cross coming into the box. And there it is. It's the smallest player on the pitch, Peter. It's very, very
yeah.
disappointing that McAllister is allowed to score and so close to the goal. What were your thoughts on that? Should we have done better?
Mate, well, yeah, we should have done better with the first goal and the second goal. But you know what? I'm just going to get right to it. That McAllister, mate, he should have been sent off. He should have been bloody sent off. I'm sorry, but he committed 3 yellow card offences in that game. There was 3 fouls for him that should have been that were blatant bookings. The one that really annoyed me was the one where Lindstrom got booked for basically telling the ref it was a cynical foul on Garner. Tell you what, mate, if he'd have made any clearer contact with Garner, that would have been a straight red, because he literally studs almost into his calf. That's how close it was. Like it was inches away from studs into Garner's calf. If he'd have made any clearer contact, straight red, mate, no doubt. So he was very lucky. How he never got booked for that is crazy, because it was a blatant cynical foul. and I don't know how he's not been yellow carded for it. And I don't know how Diaz never got any yellow cards in that first half. He was blatantly running into Tarkowski and Branthwaite on multiple occasions to the ball over the top. He wasn't going for the ball, mate. It's just
There was a lot of bad refereeing going on in that game. It's something I will digest personally a little bit. Peter, can I grab you on the second goal? You talked about being disappointed with the goals we conceded. The first goal being plenty of chances to clear. Very unfortunate not defending your 6-yard box properly. The second goal, as you say, it looks like Tarkowski tries to clear it, but he doesn't clear his lines properly. It falls into the box. One of only 2 touches Liverpool had in the Everton box in that second half, believe it or not. And it's almost like happens very fast. The ball goes to the back post, and there's Mo Salah on his left foot scoring at near post. Could we have done better? And what should we have done there to defend that situation?
Well, it's a poor clearance, as you say, but the fact that they're getting the ball in the box, you would think Mykolenko or Branthwaite, for starters, either one of them should be thinking, "Where's Salah?" You know what I mean? He should be like the majority of the derbies Mykolenko has played. Salah's always been his target. Like every time, he's always been told, Mark Salah, Mark Salah. Today, he's done fairly all right at it, but he hasn't. In that second goal, he's basically just not concentrating. He's lost them somehow, and I just thought he was, he just lost them for some reason. I don't know how, but he's just completely lost track of Salah. And I thought, even when the ball's in our box,
very frustrating.
Yeah, it's near post. Yeah, I mean, he should have been marking him, as you say, but Tarkowski today, I know it's a poor clearance from him, but it's not just the goal today, mate. I mean, to be fair, there was a chance at the end of that second half where I thought they were going to score, where I think it was Szoboszlai got a shot away, and he was aiming for the far corner, but Pickford got a touch on it, and then Diaz almost got through, but wonder tackle by Tarkowski to keep it out of the net, and then Pickford's claimed it. So fair play to Tarkowski. I thought he's slightly redeemed himself after that Bournemouth game today, but he's got to keep that form going. Cannot go into the next game with the same form as he had against Bournemouth. He needs to carry on the form he had in today's game going into the next.
Peter, talk me through the goal then. What did you make of Everton's 2 goals? The first goal, of course, really nice. Everton switched on for the set pieces, playing a through ball to Beto. What did you
brilliantly
think
timed?
That was very clever from Beto and Everton.
Yeah, brilliantly timed run by Beto. I thought the way he just sort of went sideways and kept his eye on the line so he didn't get caught offside. He's basically just tried to maximise where the space is. He's seen the gap and he's thought, I'm going to go for this spot, but he's gone sideways so that he can avoid getting caught offside. Then as soon as the ball's played, he started running forward onto it. He obviously, to be fair, I think it was great play by, who took the free kick, by the way? Was it Garner?
I think it was James Garner. I think
it's a brilliant ball, like a brilliantly timed pass as well. He's obviously seen the movement of Beto and he's thought, there's the ball, and he's played it perfectly on a plate. And it was just a perfect goal by Beto to time his run perfectly. And I tell you what, mate, if that was Calvert-Lewin, that wouldn't have happened. Because Calvert-Lewin, even though he's good back to goal compared to Beto's not that good back to goal compared to Calvert-Lewin. But Calvert-Lewin, mate, he cannot time his runs properly, and he has no composure in and around the box. Like whenever you look at Calvert-Lewin, whenever he's fit in and around the box, anytime he receives the ball, he looks like Bambi on ice. He's all off balance and he can't receive the ball to feet properly. It's always like he's wobbling all over the place. Whereas Beto, as soon as he's got the ball, it's a touch and he knows where he's got to go with it, and he just he runs forward with the ball. But all honesty, mate, it was just perfect from Beto. And the second goal, to be honest, I think it was just Tarkowski just capitalised on the chaos. I think Liverpool, it looked like what happened was Liverpool just sort of, they panicked. And basically when they panicked, Tarkowski's jumped on the opportunity and seized it. And it was a perfect goal as well. It's an absolute thunderbolt right into the net, and absolute fair play to him. I think it was a bit frustrating that they were looking for any excuse they could to deny that goal because it was blatantly obvious. I was looking as the VAR come up on the telly, and I was literally saying, if they disallow this, they've made me shit my pants for nothing. So I'm gonna fucking, sorry for swearing, but I'm gonna kick off here. You know what I mean? Because I was furious. But and I thought the weirdest thing was how Szoboszlai never got booked for simulation when he dived for a penalty, because there was an instant where they thought that Mikalenko had made contact with him and that he
Yeah.
was going down for a penalty, but it's a blatant dive because, for one, there is absolutely no contact whatsoever with Szoboszlai and Mikalenko, no contact. And where's the ball? He's supposedly supposed to have clipped Szoboszlai's left leg, but if you watch when he goes down, claiming that there's a penalty shout here, he's going down holding his right leg. So how can he have,
Was
I
it
don't get
cheating,
how that.
Peter?
Sorry?
Was it cheating?
Yeah, it was blatant cheating because he's made, like, he's literally got, like, the claiming that there was contact by Mikalenko, but Mikalenko supposedly made contact with his left leg. It's blatant simulation. He's going down holding the other leg. How on earth is that not simulation? It's clear evidence of simulation if he's holding the wrong leg. I don't see how that can't be simulation, mate. I mean, that's probably one of the things that if you're on VAR, I'd be thinking, well, there's a clear evidence of diving for one. If there's no contact with a player whatsoever and he's appealing for the penalty, it's obviously a dive. If he's not appealing, then I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He may have just lost his balance. But if he's going down claiming he's hurt and he's holding the wrong leg where there was absolutely no contact with whatsoever, sorry, mate, that's a clear sign of simulation. And I don't see how the hell he's I don't see how the hell he's got away with that.
Well, thank you, Peter, for giving me some really interesting opinions on it. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, no problem, mate. I'll see you next time.
And I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, you too, mate.
Thanks, Pete. Good man.
Right, ta-ra, mate.
Great to have Peter on, giving us his thoughts on the match. It is very late. I just want to see if anyone else wants to jump on and have a chat. You can come on audio only, or with your video. Please just type that in. It'll take 2 seconds and come and have a chat with me. There's 181 of you watching, and I would like to talk to some of you. I'll go through some of the comments as well. Unfortunately, I don't have all the comments. There was hundreds and hundreds before. I don't have access to them anymore. I've only got the new ones. I'll talk a little bit about the match from my perspective then. Atmosphere was exceptional. Even with this ear infection in this ear, where I'm a little bit blocked, it was so loud, almost deafening. To be honest, there's a nice little bit of banter with the Liverpool fans. They brought the 30 years balloons and banners, and obviously they were up for a bit of a wind-up with Everton, and we gave as good as we got. We had a very large display in the Gladys Street, which said something like, we built the city, or the originals. It was something very poignant for Everton. An excellent display from the 1878. And Liverpool fans obviously trying to do their bit in the wind-up. And I thought Everton started the game really, really well on the front foot, taking it to Liverpool. Some really, really good interchange and movement with the two strikers, Decore and Beto. And Everton defended with a 4-4-2 out of possession, with Lindstrom a little bit higher than normal, potentially wide on the right, and Jacob Bryan more of a conventional right back. And it was really, really positive start from Everton. And I felt that we were the team that wanted to make things happen. Liverpool were quite unsettled and actually kept fouling us, kept making it difficult for us to build any momentum. But also Everton were happy to take the free kicks. And the first goal Everton score comes from one of those free kicks, which is a really nice through ball. Liverpool were sleeping, and David, who was sat next to me, my brother, saying, why doesn't he just play it through? And he just slides in Beto, and it's a really nice finish under the keeper. Keeper might be a bit unhappy that he didn't get closer to it because there wasn't a lot of pace on the shot. But I'm really pleased for Beto to get his Everton goal, and Goodison Park really did erupt. Incredible atmosphere. It was quite literally bouncing. But that was short-lived, unfortunately, because Liverpool got their equalising goal. It was down the other side. Everton had plenty of opportunities to clear. I believe at the start of the phase of play, Jared Branthwaite has his arms round Mohamed Salah, who wins a free kick. And the ball goes into the box. Everton do clear the free kick. But in that second phase of play, Decore and Beto have the opportunity to clear the lines and regroup, but try to be too clever with their play. And Liverpool win the ball back. Goes to It goes to Mohamed Salah on his left foot on the right-hand side. And he does play a really nice ball into the box for McAllister to score a header. But, at the other end, looking from the park end, I was really frustrated at that whole process because Doucouré had the chance to clear. Beto, the fact we gave the free kick away in the first place when we were completely suffocating Liverpool and really stopping them from playing. But the ball into the box, I need to see it back, but could we have dealt with the cross? Could we have got on the end of the cross instead of McAllister? Could the keeper do more? Could he come out for it? Was it that close? I do need to see it back, but it almost looked like slow motion. Really frustrating, in all honesty, that Liverpool got that equaliser and that Everton couldn't have held on just to see out a period and try and settle again. I think had we done that, we possibly would have gone on to get the second goal. We just needed to see through a little bit of a spell of Liverpool's fight back. So it got to 1-1 and Everton was still pushing. Ndiaye in this point becomes a little bit more involved off the left-hand side. Unfortunately, his main job appeared to be carrying the ball up the pitch away from pressure. We didn't really have, when Liverpool had a lot of control of the ball around their halfway line, we didn't press. We stayed in our mid-box. We stayed in the shape. We didn't want to go and press and lose our shape because we felt like Liverpool were looking to ping in balls behind and around us. But when Liverpool had the ball very close to their own goal, kind of around their 18-yard box or in the corners, Everton did press. Everton wanted to get the ball back off them in those areas. So we were very clever with the times to press, knowing when to press, knowing when to drop off. And we did look really well coached in that regard. But going forward, I'm not sure there was a lot of quality at this point. Even with Ndiaye on the pitch, he was trying to bring Everton up the pitch. And unfortunately, he gets clattered. Well, it looked like to be honest, it looked obviously that he'd been clattered. It turns out he'd kicked the floor, but he's having to do so much work defensively. And it looks like it could be a knee injury for him, possibly ligaments. And he would add to Dwight McNeil on the injury list and Calvert-Lewin, a host of players out, which is really a bit of a shame. And if you do want to jump on and have a chat, this is meant to be a phone in, pretty much. It's my reaction, but it's an open forum. So comments are welcome, and anyone who wants to come on as a guest just has to click on that and chat. So Ndiaye goes off. It was quite a lengthy period of stoppage for Ndiaye's injury. I think there was hope that it would be nothing, but it became very clear that it was something. And Everton, faced with a lack of options on the bench, bring on Jack Harrison. I think the reception was a bit mixed for Jack. He's had a difficult season. In fact, I think he's had a difficult Everton career. But Jack Harrison comes on and he's full of energy, full of work rate, full of endeavour. And I think his heart is in the right place. But I did feel like he was a little bit lost in the final third. Even though he is more of a left winger, I didn't really think he knew what to do when he got the ball. And he had a lot of Liverpool players around him. So I think the game for Everton in that first half, although we had a lot of control and we were certainly in the match, Liverpool were playing very poor. They didn't create anything. They didn't test the goalie. Everton just defended so well and dealt with everything Liverpool threw at us. They were really poor. And I think we made them poor with how we defended. But at the same time, I don't think we really tested them once Ndiaye went off. I felt like we struggled to get the ball forwards other than with a long ball to Beto and Doucouré. So half-time and Everton now shooting towards the Gladys Street. I felt like Everton came out of the blocks very quickly. And in all honesty, although it's blue-tinted glasses, I felt like we did control the match for large spells. Doucouré has a really good chance from a header. Nice crossover from Jesper Lindstrom, and Doucouré should put the ball into the back of the net, but heads well wide. It was really quite poor. And then later on, Jack Harrison, who'd had 2 moments to go on through 1v1 situations Ndiaye would love, similar to the Spurs goal, but he doesn't quite have the end product or quality to finish. There was another big chance that fell to Doucouré a bit later on. A ball over. I think it was a transitional moment. Everton get towards the the opposition goal. And Doucouré on his right foot, loads of time, loads of space, but spoofs the ball over the bar. So Peter's saying, anyone to type that link, you just click on it in the description or chat to jump on it. I do it all the time. Come on, guys. I want to speak to someone new today. Giving up my time to do this, and I have been waiting to give you some thoughts on the match since the full-time whistle. I was outside Goodison, ready, roaring to go. Unfortunately, I couldn't get on. The signal wasn't great. But I'm happy to give some thoughts now and get the comments in. So at this point, it is 1-1. Doucouré had these two massive chances. Liverpool didn't create a bean. Their goal, which I'll talk about now, definitely comes against the run of play. It would be wrong to not talk about the refereeing. I think I missed a very pertinent thing here, but I don't want to make the stream all about Michael Oliver, so I'll just touch over it. He was not giving yellow cards when there was yellows. He was fouling when there was little contact. I think he was bad for both teams, but particularly for Everton, because Liverpool were getting away with countless fouls. Listen, Everton bought the fouls. They wanted the contact. They wanted the foul, slow the game down, win the free kicks. They were very, very clever at it today. And we should be like that against all of the so-called top teams. But he played, he had a very poor game, Michael Oliver, and he booked, for example, Jesper Lindstrom for dissent for asking for a yellow card. But at that point, blood was boiling because there were so many yellow card situations for Liverpool that they got away with. And one of the situations pertinently was in the second half when the young lad for Liverpool, the right back, I can't remember his name, tip of my tongue, he was on a yellow card and Doucouré is dragged back. Listen, Doucouré knows exactly what he's doing, get in front of the man and fall over. But in any situation, it is a yellow card. And Connor Bradley is left on the pitch. And to add insult to injury, he subbed off 3 minutes later, which is just absolutely classic, really. But Everton obviously should have taken advantage of these situations. The referee was making it very, very difficult for them. They kept wasting chances, but I still felt like Liverpool didn't offer much of a threat until the goal. Now, the goal, to me, Liverpool had made a substitution. That was Darwin Núñez, putting him up front, and then they moved over onto the right-hand side, the very, very quiet Luis Diaz. And I think that did make the difference for them, because what that did, that allowed them to gain a little bit of a threat 1v1 against O'Brien, who had, as Brian says, Brian Coughlin, hi Brian, he says Jake O'Brien had a really good game, and he did absolutely have a really good game defending at right back against anyone he faced, really. But in this moment, Diaz does get the ball in. Tarkowski half clears, I think. The ball falls to a Liverpool player. I can't recall the name. Keeps it alive and plays the ball over to the back post for Mykolenko. It is quite scrappy. It almost reminded me, I'm sure there was a similar goal at Goodison Park years ago, and they did the same thing. We don't clear our lines. I think it was Yerry Mina, and they go and score. And there was one even before that, Sylvain Distin at that same end. It must just stand out to me. But yeah, Salah near post, frustrating. And then Everton, I have to say, made their substitutions. Carlos Alcaraz came on the right-hand side of midfield, and Timur Abunin came on for Ghana, who was really tired, Idrissa Gana Gueye. And Everton were trying to carry the ball, but they were really short on quality and products, and just being able to get the ball off Liverpool at this point was really difficult. They held onto the ball so well. We tried to press, we tried to get near them, but they were time wasting. They were making it very difficult for us to get a grip of the game and to regain that control, which they had for large spells, if not the majority of the match. So we definitely lost control when Liverpool scored. We need a stronger bench. There was no strikers there. It was, do we bring on Michael Keane or Ashley Young, basically? There was no options, and he goes with Ashley Young. He had to come on in order to bring to put Carlos Alcaraz, who at this point hadn't touched the ball at all, into the centre. I still felt Everton were defending really well, particularly with Jared Branthwaite. He was excellent. Vitaly Mykolenko, aside from moments where he has to stop Mo Salah, crucially, he had a good game, and that's why it's difficult to rate him. And I will do player ratings if we don't get any more callers, which unfortunately it looks like we're not getting. I know it's late; people may be unable to wake people up, but it'd be good to hear from someone else. The substitution, Ashley Young then comes on. At this point, Lindstrom had gone off, Gay had gone off, and the third substitution. Who came on for Young? Who came off for Young? Was it James Garner? I think it was for James Garner. And we pushed and we probed, and we've got Alcaraz. We've got he was very, very quiet. And then you had Timur Abunam, who does have ability to carry the ball forward and try and make things happen. And Everton, I'd say for the last sort of 10, 15 minutes after Liverpool got the equaliser, it was really quite flat. The crowd was flat. Liverpool were doing everything to see the game out, and it did look like it was heading to a draw. And unfortunately, I made that decision on 87 minutes to start heading to the exit, at which point, listen, I don't need to justify why I'm leaving. I've got but I will, because some people will say, "Oh, you're an idiot. I've got a little baby I need to get back for," and meet my dad at the top balcony, who takes an age to get out. And to be honest, I can't sit for an hour and a half in the traffic. So 87 minutes, I'm going down the steps, and there I am outside the ground, and all of a sudden, people screaming, running back in. I've never known anything quite like it. And yeah, I'm absolutely effing gutted that I missed the goal. And I can't say, that's my own fault. So there's no need to rub it in. Absolutely stupid. And to be honest, I just feel sick watching Liverpool win everything every week. And my heart wasn't in it to watch that extra 60 seconds of Liverpool celebrating. And to be honest, I'd lost faith. I really had. That's how flat that last 20 minutes was. There really didn't seem like there was any hope Everton would get the goal. But what a goal it was. I have now seen it back. I did enjoy the celebrations at the time. I just hadn't seen the moment live. And yeah, gutted. It was an exceptional goal, but, it really does come out of nothing. Jack Harrison on the left-hand side is trying to work a crossing opportunity, doesn't quite come off, and it falls to Mikalenko near on that left-hand side, who plays a nothing ball into the box. It's just a hooked ball into the box with very little intent. And Beto challenges for the ball. He had a game battling Konate. He was battling Konate, who gave him a really difficult occasion, and the ball flicks off. I think it was Timur Abunam to James Tarkowski, and it's on the half volley at the back post, and he's a centre half. Wow, seriously, wow! This is one of the best goals I've ever seen. Gladys Street, who's been starved of goals for all season, to be honest, there's hardly any goals down that end. They all seem to come up the Park End side. But he literally rifles it into the top corner. Alisson's got no chance. And the celebration, from what I've witnessed, is as good as anything I've ever seen. They all run into the corner. The fans are going wild. The fans actually run onto the pitch, not on the pitch, but on top of the players in that corner. It quickly settles down. I wouldn't class it as a pitch invasion, but it's that last minute equaliser in a Merseyside derby, the last ever night game at Goodison as it stands, and the last ever Goodison derby. Liverpool totally did not deserve to win that match. I think a point arguably is a fair result, but I think Everton were the better team overall for the chances that they created, the Decore ones, for example. And just that goal is completely fitting of the occasion. And I was worried Everton would play the occasion and not the game. I felt like we absolutely played the occasion and the game and did it very well. And I would have been very, very disappointed with a loss on that basis, because I felt like we deserved more. And I'm so glad that they got that. Wormy, I know you're talking about jumping on. It's just a phone. You don't need a mic. Most people can just come on their phone. So it's like having a phone call, as long as your device has got internet access. If anyone else wants to come on, I'll just put the link back up. But I'm more than happy to just keep talking anyway, although it's very late. So yeah, if you want to jump on, you click that, and then I'll bring you in. You don't have to have your camera on. You can just have your audio only. But Everton get that equaliser. Unbelievable scenes. And then obviously it's full time, but I've never seen anything like it. At the bottom end, Decore runs over to the Liverpool fans who were giving it all sorts of, celebrating for 10 minutes prior. And Decore runs over to the, yes, Blue Nose WKD. I'm more than happy to discuss that in a moment. Decore runs over to Liverpool fans to celebrate. He is then dragged away by Curtis Jones, who was not happy at all. He started a bit of a scuffle. Everyone runs over. It kind of kills the moment. Arnie Slot, who had previously lost his head, goes over to the referee to shake his hand and apparently gives him a very firm handshake and then gets sent off. Decore is in the background giving him a load of earache. Really funny. There was certainly a lot of wind-up merchants. And it would be really, really good to see. Definitely go and watch it back. Some of the stuff on TNT Sports. Okay, so I'll do player rating. Doesn't look like anyone else wants to jump on. Blue Nose WKD Dublin. Moyes effect. Yes, he's restored faith. The fan base is more invested again. I think more passionate. I think it had gone a bit stale under Dyche, and I think Moyes has just brought that little bit of. He's just lifted everyone really, and these results are great. I mean, 3 wins and a draw in the last 4, considering the opposition as well in this last match. I think we're very, very steady, and I think we're more than good enough to fight for a top 10 finish. Right, guys. Also, just because we couldn't put out a pre-match chat today, unfortunately, and we are looking for more people to join the show. If you're interested, please drop me a message on Twitter at Follow Everton. My DM box is there. We need a few more people. In an ideal world, not being too fussy, but someone a little bit older would be quite nice, possibly in the 50s or 60s, just to give us a more generational thoughts on everything that's going on with Everton at the moment. Okay, so player ratings. Let's have a little look at the player ratings. Jordan Pickford in goal. To be honest, he didn't have a lot to do. Didn't have to make a save that I can recall in the game. Nothing. Prince Rupert's asking about Wes. Wes's mum's not well, so he couldn't commit to anything, unfortunately. He's more than welcome back if he's watching. What was I going to say? Pickford. Yeah. Pickford, he didn't have to make a save in the game that I can recall. Well, nothing of note, no key saves. Obviously, the 2 big moments, the Liverpool goals, I don't think he could. We have someone, Cuckoo Clock 1995. Is that? I'm really hoping that's not. I'm not being presumptuous that this is a Liverpool fan, just because since 1995, but I will bring them in regardless. I'm assuming not, because what Liverpool fans would be on here, but 1995 scares me because that's all I've heard all day since 1995. So I'll come back to the player ratings and we'll bring in Cuckoo Clock 1995. Hello.
Hello, it's me. Cuckoo
Hello.
Clock 1995, you right?
Are you you're an Evertonian or a Liverpool fan?
I'm the Liverpool supporter. That's been in the chat. It's a good little channel you've got going here because I tuned in for the Bramley Moore issue that you had with your parking.
Yeah.
And then it's popped up tonight after the match, and I'm just on YouTube. So I thought I'd tune in and just see what it's good to see your side, like the other supporters' side of things. But everyone's going on about the ref, the old like decisions in the game. The mad thing was that at the end, that the whole saga of the fight is that he books and he sends off the players, doesn't he? Then you've still got Decore on the pitch after he's been sent off, and he couldn't even control the game when the game had finished. That's how bad the officiating was on both parts.
Yeah, I don't think it was an issue exclusive to like an issue with Everton feel hard done. I do think there was general bad decisions on both parts there. No doubt about it. I mean, some of my red mates were texting throughout the game on the group chat saying they thought Michael Oliver was a disgrace. Now that's from their perspective, obviously, as Liverpool fans thinking that he was a disgrace. I thought he was bad as an Everton fan. I think Everton were really clever, actually. Cuckoo. I'm going to call you Cuckoo. We we were clever because we knew we couldn't outplay you. But what we could do was we could have an advantage physically and win more fouls and win them in good areas. And we used that to break up play. But there were some very clear yellows that he missed. And obviously at the end, he sends off those players. Do you think he should have just let it go? It's a derby. What's he going to achieve by sending everyone off, including the managers? And he's almost like a bit of a wet lettuce, isn't he, Michael Oliver?
I don't even like a statement thing to send them off, because he's just already lost control of what's going on. But I mean, you can book players for that, and if they've been booked, they're going to get a second yellow and be sent off. So he's probably done the right thing. It's just a bit mad, but anything can happen after a game now. Where remember, Man United got a pen in COVID when the game had finished. So
Yeah.
I think that the refs can do as they please most of the time, and they also get away with murder. You say the players do, simulation diving or fouls that should be bookings, and they get away with this. The refs that get away with a lot of things. They can until the ref watch happens on Monday.
Hmm.
That's when they get put in
I
the
don't
light.
agree
But
with anything.
yeah.
Are you Daniel,
Oh,
by the way? Because people are saying,
Yeah.
were you in the chat for the post match?
Yeah, I think so for like half an hour.
That's funny.
Getting a lot of grief, but I think it's good to just, obviously, like I said, watch other fan media because you're
Well, tell me a little. I'll ask you a few questions then, because I think you bring a
yeah.
little bit more insight into this. Because as I have explicitly say, I thought Everton were up. Probably if it was a game, I think Everton was 60% better than Liverpool were like the 40%, if that makes sense. And I'm intrigued to know what you thought. I'll talk to you about some of the key moments. As a Liverpool fan, what did you think of the first goal? That must have been frustrating, really. That he switched off, the ball goes in behind, and it's a soft finish as well.
I don't even know if they switched off. I think Hughes had obviously worked on something clever, and just slipped it in. You can't. Everton players can react quicker because they know what's happening. They know the play. Liverpool don't know what's going to be happening. They're waiting for the cross to go, and it's just a clever, quick move in. And I think Decore, the way he opens his body, doesn't touch the ball until he hits it, I don't think, and it goes in.
It was Beto who scored.
Was it Beto? Yeah.
Yeah, Beto. He never scores. But it's quite interesting. Charlie Adam, ex-Liverpool. I'm not going to say legend, but for the humour, Liverpool legend Charlie Adam and Everton have scored actually. I don't know. I think we scored another set piece recently. That was like a Charlie Adam special. That was quite spectacular. So tell me about the Liverpool goal. Then, what did you think of the McAllister header?
I think it all comes down to Salah, doesn't it? Like you have these players. Everyone's saying, the players that don't do much, but they can do a lot. And if he'd won the game, you'd all be looking at him going, "He's won the game for you again," which he has done countless times. But just having that ability to have someone on the pitch, and there's a few of them that can just turn it on at any point.
He
McAllister
didn't
does
play
well,
well,
but
did
it's
he?
no. But McAllister does well to get the header. He's the smallest player on the pitch, but Salah's ball in is just like it's graceful. It just glides in.
Yeah.
It's not it doesn't look like a typical cross. It's like a mix between some sort of like gliding shot, and if you want to get your head on it, you can get your head on it. It's just a bit mad with
Yeah, I
credit
do
to
need
him.
to see it back. I do need to see it back. Things baffle me about Mohamed Salah. And a lot of Liverpool fans seem to think that he goes missing for 85 minutes in a match, but will score 2 goals. And there you go. It's the statistics that you can't argue with. That's why he's arguably, listen, he's the best player in the league. And I think Everton dealt with him well in general play, but in those 2 key moments, stop the cross. I'm more concerned about how the smallest man on the pitch is able to head it in from so close than Mohamed Salah getting the ball in.
I think
But-
Salah can go missing for 85 minutes for the rest of the season for me. And if he just
Yeah.
pops up and he just does it, and that's what you value in a player like that.
Do you want him to sign a new deal? Or I mean,
Yeah.
of course you do, but would you? His value. Could you have cashed in on him last summer?
Physically, he's a specimen. I've never seen
Yeah.
anyone look like that other than Ronaldo, and he did it till what 37. Fell off the past few years because he's in a different league, and he's
Yeah.
you couldn't really do it at United, but you know, Salah's 32, he'll be 34, 35 if he signs a contract and finishes at Liverpool with it. He's got bad goals. He's 40 goals off being Liverpool's second all-time scorer, there or
Is he
thereabouts.
just
Yeah,
behind Rush?
he's yeah, he's 3 goals off right now of being Liverpool's third all-time scorer. Then he needs another 40 to get second place, and give him it. Give him a contract if he's happy with it. He's the ideal. He's the most important one to sign out of the three. Then it
Mm,
or Van Dijk and Imma. But any contract talks boring. Next question.
yeah. Okay. Finally, then those 2 goals. I know the equalizer is probably a sore subject, but the goal that you did score, it's a bit scrappy. You're at the end. Did you think that was game over at that point?
No, I was screaming for to kill the game off kind of thing. I think that we did have chances. We did get through. We never just we weren't complacent. We weren't lethargic. We were trying to score. I think they all knew on the pitch they needed to score another goal because there was 18 minutes or so still to play.
Yeah.
Um, I think the issue with it was the Tarkowski goal at the end was you could just see it coming. You see
Really?
the ball, yeah, on the not so much like did Everton are going to score in the next couple of minutes. It was more once that ball got put on the left side and it just got hoofed in, and then Kanate misses the header, and then Curtis Jones goes up for a header, but your player dinks it on, and then you're just waiting for it to hit the net. Half you're thinking it's going to go over the bar, but then it goes in, and they're just like the margins of football, and that's the beauty of it is that you
Yeah.
know if the two players never clashed heads, there was 15 seconds left of the game. You know, if Kanate heads the ball away at the end, these don't score the goal. There's just such fine things that make it the best sport in the world.
If he goes down faking a head injury. What it is. I think that is a moment you can't really legislate for. You can't prepare for that. It's just a one-off. When does your centre half, the central of the back line as well? He wasn't
Yeah,
on the side like Branthwaite. He was. What is he doing up there? 99 times out of 100 that he's lashing that over the stand. In all honesty, I've seen. Um, he's a centre half. He's never going to score that type of goal. But it was incredible moment. Can I just ask? Obviously, it's a sour topic for you. I'm not expecting you to say anything positive about that, but just in the moment where you thought it was the VAR check, there was.
you could tell
What
that it
do
was
you think of
onside.
that? You could tell he wasn't offside.
Yeah, you could see it was onside, like not a mile off, but you could, with your own eye, you didn't need any lines to be drawn. You could see it was on, and then it felt like they were clutching at straws, trying to see if there was a foul in there. That's not Liverpool trying to see if there's a foul. That's just the officials seeing what they can rule out or rule in. Um, but yeah, there was no foul anyway. But goal happens. But I think people are going to wake up tomorrow and just go, "Oh, 7 points clear here. Better
Yeah,
than 6, isn't it?"
yeah,
No, could have been 9, but it's 7. And we've spent the past, like, I don't know, couple of weeks being 6 clear, and the
exactly.
6 has
There you
been
go.
put me off.
It's not a bad
Yeah.
result for Liverpool, is it? Really, I think a lot of you would have taken a point before the game, surely an extra point,
Yeah,
considering
exactly.
you haven't won a Goodison in a few years. To be fair,
Exactly. That's the whole, you know, how good today is what actually is on, and when you look at it, it's a point. It's a point in the
listen. Let me tell
progress.
you. Daniel, just before I let you go, I have been on the receiving end of many, many of those last minute goals from Liverpool. Normally a winner in Anfield. Or to be honest, I remember one. I haven't been to many derbies. In fact, I haven't been to many wins. I always seem to fall on times when I can't go due to work. But the Mane 94th minute of stoppage time a few
I
years
was
ago.
lucky to be in the ground for that one. So I've had
That was
my
sickening.
share of moments that I can enjoy, and obviously you have to have them as well. That's how
The
football
only
works.
difference is our moments are a draw and yours are a win or
Yeah,
winning a cup final. Thank you so much, Dan.
yeah.
I appreciate you.
Not a problem. Just if
See you soon.
anyone, if you know anyone that works at Goodison, or sorry, if Brownlee Moore that need me to move that cuckoo clock over, I've got a few boxes and a car, so
Thank you, Daniel.
See you
See you
later. Up the
soon.
Reds.
Oh, he's a good man. He's one of the better ones. Right, let's go and do these player ratings then. It's always nice to hear a different perspective. And I knew anyone with 1995 in the name was definitely not born in 1995. They were going to come on, but to be fair, he didn't wind up. Very rational, very down to earth. Let's do these player ratings then. I'm feeling a bit tired. I know you guys are loving talking about Everton and nearly 300 of you watching. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do subscribe. Pickford, we'll have to give him a 6 because I don't think he had anything to do. Mikalenko, I want to give him more than a 6, but can he do more for the goal? Could he do more to stop the cross? Let's give him a 6.5 because I think overall he was quite solid. The defense did concede 2 goals, but Jared Branthwaite was outstanding in the back. I'll give him a 7.5 for the way he dealt with pretty much everything faultlessly. And James Tarkowski as well, although, he could do better for the goal where he should clear it. Can he do better for the goal that we do concede in the first half? I think it would be wrong to rate him anything other than an 8.5 because that goal at the end, you could give him a 10, some people would say, but let's be objective here. His overall performance, he was solid. A couple of moments he could do better, but that goal was just outstanding. And at right back, Jake O'Brien did everything you would really ask of a right back. And I think he's got to go for his 7.5. I think he just did his job and he did it very, very well. You could say a good rating is an average rating is 6, a good rating is 6.5, a very good rating 7, and an excellent rating 7.5. Superb 8. Outstanding 8.5. You guys can interpret it how you want, but I felt he did very well. Justify a 7.5. He's just powerful and he just won his battles. Very, very clever. He was tenacious. To be honest, he didn't have to do a lot. I thought that we just won the first balls. We were winning the second balls. He didn't have a lot of 1v1 defending. Liverpool was strange today. They wanted to play a lot of balls in behind. They didn't actually want to run at you and make it horrible. It's weird. They were just not that good. Oh god, tired. Let's move through into the midfield then quickly. Garnagay, thought he was a little bit quiet, but he worked hard, and James Garner as well. I just thought they weren't that good in possession, and I know they weren't really there for build up. They were there for second balls and duels and harrying and winning fouls. So give the pair of them a 6.5. And on the wings, I thought Ndai, can't really rate him, but he was growing into the game just as he gets injured. But Jack Harrison gave a decent account of himself, tried to make things happen and work hard. I give him a 6. On the other side, Lindstrom, there wasn't a lot coming from him. And I think 6 is pushing it really. I think he was largely anonymous. Apart from his defensive contribution and work rate, there wasn't anything really to write home about. And Doucouré, listen, Doucouré missed 2 massive chances, but I think he was one of the best players on the pitch because I think his aggressiveness, his understanding of where to be, winning duels, winning the battles, his link-up play. I'm going to give him a 7.5. I think you could easily give him an 8. I think I will give him an 8 for the shithousery at the end. But now he's been sent off. Does he miss the next match? Can anyone clarify that? Because that's, if so, is a little bit stupid considering the amount of players that we are missing. And then Beto up front, he had a tireless task up there. I'll be honest with you, really had Konate up his backside, and it was difficult. He tried his best to hold up the ball, and I think a lot of the time he did. Playing with his back to goal, very difficult, and he took his goal really well. Can he do more? Yes, I think there's more to come from him. He's growing in confidence, and he's well worth an 8 for the goal that he scored. The other substitutions were Tim Rabunam did carry the ball. You think he could change the game, and Carlos Alcaraz, but I don't think either of them. We'll give Tim Rabunam a 7.5 for the assist for the flicking on the header. Carlos Alcaraz, I'll just give him a 6. I didn't think there was anything there particularly to shout about, and I think he was finding it difficult to get into the game until he got moved into the middle. Listen, guys, that's all from me. I'm feeling tired, and I've enjoyed speaking with you all. I do hope we'll be able to get some more people on next time. I'm aware, obviously, the time of night it is going to be difficult to get people on, but I'm glad we had a couple of good callers. And if you haven't already seen it, go and watch the post-match reaction back, and go and enjoy this draw. That's all from me. Thank you so much, guys. And I'll be back very soon with a video where we're having a look at season ticket availability. Take care.